All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Neo leaders. Very exciting subject, but, unfortunately, can't go into this without directly going into webcomic spoilers. So if you don't want to know what's going to happen past what the manga is currently on, I suggest you check out now. So recently in the webcomic, we were finally introduced to the elite members of the Neo Heroes. And before this, we weren't even privy to what their title was. And it turns out that they are called the Neo Leaders. And yes, as you guessed, this is pretty much the S-class equivalent for the Neo Heroes, meaning that they are likely just as strong as what an S-class hero would be considered to be. Now, their functions are just slightly different because while the S-class heroes kind of just do whatever they want and, they are requested, of course, from time to time, but they're kind of like renegades, more or less. But with the Neo Heroes and the Neo Leaders, it's a little more structured because the Neo Heroes expect heroes of equal standing to work together in groups and bring about results that way. So that means A class is going to stick with A class, B class is going to stick with B class, and so on and so forth. Not the disorganized chaos and very dangerous methods that the Hero Association goes about. But when these groups come together, they have a leader with them almost all the time, and that's where the Neo leaders come into play. So the Neo Heroes kind of would have a group of B-class heroes, and then they would be led by one S-class hero. So at this point, I want to go over every Neo leader that we know of, and I'm pretty sure that we've been introduced to all of them at this point. And I'm just going to be going over all of the information that we know about them. And then I just want to speculate a little bit about their powers or whatever else could be going on with these guys. So let's get into it. So first up, we've got Ryu. Yep, Ryu has actually joined the Neo Hero, something that we speculated about years from now. And it's so awesome that it's come to fruition. Now, granted, this is webcomic Ryu. This is the first time he's been introduced to the webcomic. So he is going to be different than the manga Ryu that we have come to know and love. Especially he's not going to have the character arc that Ryu is currently going through in the manga, considering that he has not had those experiences. But he has more or less still the same kind of past that Ryu has in the manga as well, because it's confirmed that he did win at least one super fight tournament in this continuity. And also, he has a sister and a master that, I'll talk about in another video too. But as McCoy says, he's the martial artist who lives in the moment. He occasionally enters martial arts tournaments and lives solely off of prize money. His principle is that there are no principles, even though he cares a little for the goals and the hero activity. He was persuaded to join the Neo Heroes just because he considers it easy money. So yeah, he's just the playboy, nonchalant martial artist that we knew before, his encounter with Saitama and the Monster Association and all that stuff. So he's more or less kind of the same strength level, I'd say, too. We already knew he was S-class level in the manga, and as we've seen, he could fight two Neo leader candidates at the same time, who are, probably A-class level, high A-class, maybe somewhere around there. So, yes, still just as strong, more or less, in this continuity as well. So next up, we have Excel, and this guy is one of the Neo Hero OGs. Actually, I think he might be the very first Neo Hero that we were introduced to back in chapter 106, I think, of the webcomic. Now, at that point, his power was kind of ambiguous. I wasn't really sure, is this guy legitimately S-class level, or in this case, Neo leader level? Because it turns out that he comes from a group, or which he is the leader of, called the Hunters. It's basically 53 vigilantes that go after monsters and whatnot on their own accord. But also, when it was revealed that they lost 5 of their 53 members combating against a demon level monster. And that was okay, so if Excel couldn't take down a demon by himself, then maybe he's not S-class level, because that's kind of the prerequisite, more or less. But it turns out, in this case, I guess he is, because he is definitely a Neo leader now. And I also assume that he's just going to be overseeing the Hunters that have joined the Neo Heroes. It goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning, how there's going to be a group of dudes who are around the same level, and then they are overseen by a leader, who in this case would be Excel. But other than that, we haven't really seen this guy in action yet, but he has these mechanical looking skates on, and his name is Excel. So maybe he's speed based or something like that, possibly. So next up, we've got Ryu Maan, and this guy is one of the more intriguing Neo leaders in my opinion, because he's got an interesting kind of dynamic to him, and he's got a pretty cool character design as well. Because it's like, is this guy good? Is this guy bad? Is he a liar? Is he a wolf in sheep's clothing? I just want to know more. But for now, what we do know about him is that he's the leader of an organization named the Ryu Megumi, which is like 400 gangsters. And I'm assuming this is probably like a Yakuza type of clique or something like that. Now, while this guy was a gangbanger in the past, and it's stated that he benefited significantly from anti-establishment activities, he's apparently resolved recently, and now he contributes positively to society and has become a hero as a result. But also, under a condition that the Ryu Megumi, the organization, is put under the Neo Heroes' surveillance. But it's also said that their battle prowess cannot be understated. So yeah, this guy is super powerful. Goes back to what I was talking about with these Neo leaders are definitely S-class level, even though they look a little goofy and we haven't really seen any feats from them. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, this guy, he comes across as like this, happy-go-lucky, very friendly dude. But it's like, is that the case? Unclear at this point, but I'm liking this character. So then we have Zeta, and this is the first financial backer of the Neo Heroes. So this guy basically just provides, I guess, most of the budget for all of the Neo Heroes, like facilities and their salaries and all of that type of stuff. So he does play an instrumental part in the organization. Now, also it's like brings up the question, is this guy powerful? Like, why is he a Neo leader if he is just like the financial backer? And Suiryu actually asks this himself. He's like, without actual experience, wouldn't it be dangerous for him to participate in battle? And then Zeta himself says, no need to worry, I've set aside the highest budget for my personal equipments. So I guess that just shows us right there that this guy is kind of like a child emperor type of fighter. Like, he just has like technology at his disposal, which is powerful enough to make him S-class or Neo leader level. We don't really see any of his equipment, but he does have these two like big earring things. So maybe that's where the technology comes from, or maybe it's just like in his jacket or something. I don't know. I'm intrigued by this dude too. So next we have Webigaza, and this is kind of like the analog to Amai Mask. Like, if so far we've had the analog to maybe Flashy Flash with Excel, Ryu Maan maybe to Metal Bat, and then Zeta's maybe Child Emperor. Well, this is Amai Mask's analog, because she is apparently the hottest idol singer. So, just like My Mask, but this time she is a female and she has overwhelming support from teenagers. So, like, whenever you're going on Reddit and you see those K-pop fan cams, just imagine if, like, one of those individuals decided to become a hero and then all of their legions of fans came with them. So she is not like an inherently strong person, typically what we've seen in the S-class and all of that stuff. Apparently, over the past 6 months, she's underwent all sorts of human experiments and now is returning as an enhanced human. So this basically means that she is a cyborg, because later it's revealed that when Coco analyzes her with his robotic eye, he finds out that she's had 71% of her body modified. And apparently this is super impressive, because the cyborg fight that he comes from, people there have only had their wrists, legs, and eyes modified. And at most it's 30%. But any modification over 60% is extremely risky, and the chances of success are slim. And even there's some cyborgs in the Hero Association with more than 60% modification. So he's kind of likening it to them. And then he just says just how strong was her resolve in order to deal with something like this. And we do kind of see a glimpse of her strength, because when she finds out that Amai Mask was a monster and that he was taken away by Saitama, she punches the wall and it makes a big impact and crater. So she definitely has super strength for sure, because she is a cyborg after all. So then we have this guy named Infelsinave, I think that's how you say it, and he's apparently the founder of the Church of Otherworldly Reincarnation, and they have 900,000 followers that just worship this dude, and they're all going to be supporting the Neo Heroes, because he is now a Neo leader. This guy, probably the most mysterious. He doesn't even really have any dialogue yet. Don't know what this guy is about, but it appears that maybe he has like some kind of magical abilities, possibly. Maybe he's like the first character that we're going to see start using stuff like that isn't some kind of inherent superpower or something like that. I don't know. Look out for this guy, though. He's probably rather powerful, I'm assuming. And that brings us to Raiden, who I guess is the analog to Darkshine, possibly, because this guy is the champion of Super Sumo, which is a league where like only wrestlers that are over like 9 feet tall and 800 pounds are allowed to participate. And he's just completely wrecked all of them, like undefeated, 700 matches. Apparently, ever since he was a child in any sports, he's never lost, no monsters or whatever. Like, he can take out monsters by just, like, swatting them with his bare hands, according to legend, which isn't too far-fetched for, like, an S-class hero to achieve. But, yeah, this guy is also regarded as being, like, in terms of pure battle prowess, he's the top of the Neo leaders and just the Neo heroes in general. So that's saying a lot, but also the hype goes even further because McCoy says our assessment suggests that he even surpasses the Hero Association's S-class level. So what does that mean? Your guess is as good as mine, but it definitely means that he's absurd in power, and we even see a little glimpse of it, like when he locks up with Darkshine and straight up intimidates Darkshine in this chapter. So yeah, Raiden, no joke. So now we're coming to another intriguing, but also super mysterious Neo leader here, and his name is A. Just the letter A, and apparently he's a killer with a special A-class bounty on his head, and his fighting style is very effective against monsters, whatever that means. And he has also agreed to join under the condition that he must be put under constant surveillance by the Neo heroes. So this guy, he kind of talks a lot, and we've seen him before we were actually introduced to him in chapter 125. So this guy, I'm really unsure what's going on with him. He has a very interesting character design, kind of looks like Dr. Genus, but also like the whole A-class bounty thing might be either a red herring or it's like legitimately telling us how powerful this dude is, because there are S-class level bounties and stuff like that. Like Sonic, for example, is an S-class, has an S-class bounty. So does this mean that this guy is weaker than what an S-class would be, or maybe he hadn't had enough time to get an S-class positive? I mean, he is a Neo leader, so he is powerful, but it's like, how powerful is he exactly, and what does it mean when his style is very effective against monsters? You know, I'm very intrigued by this guy, but aside from Ryu Maan, I think this guy probably is less trustworthy. All right, so now we're coming to the 3 S-class heroes who have defected from the Hero Association, and we'll start with Darkshine. So I guess Darkshine is technically a Neo leader since he is introduced with the rest of them, but he's not going to be active in battle. So after the whole Monster Association battle and the Garo stuff, he's decided to retire from professional hero work, but instead, he's just going to be a part of the Neo heroes to help nurture the younger generation. Like, obviously, he's experienced in all of the body transformation and apparently nutritional stuff, too. So he's just going to be coaching them, sparring them, helping them practice and stuff, and just being a reliable teacher as best as he can, which is pretty cool. But I mean, I expect Darkshine to eventually come back to active duty. I mean, he can't just be benched for the rest of the series after all. And then Metal Bat. So Metal Bat didn't really have a good reason for joining the Neo heroes because he hasn't really had a lot of development in the webcomics. So I'm sure we'll get more of that in the manga, especially now that he has re-entered the story with the Monster Association arc. But apparently he was successfully scouted after he agreed to additional terms, which included having a security guard at home when he's away caring for kittens. You know, also protecting Zenko. So he's just looking out for his family. It doesn't really seem like he has really a strong allegiance to the Hero Association either way. It's just, you know, family first, which is totally like Metal Bat. So then we have Child Emperor. So Child Emperor decided to join the Neo heroes after he uncovered multiple corruptions in the Hero Association. Like, they're a super corrupt place, obviously. But it was mainly like I guess the straw that broke the camel's back was when he found out that they were having like some kind of illegal black market monster trade, which also led to like multiple civilian casualties. So yeah, Child Emperor, all about the Neo Heroes now. Even though he said that he doesn't, outright trust them, he still is feeling better with them rather than the heroes. And then finally, we have the one who stands above them all, who I suppose could be considered the #1 Neo hero, and that is Blue. So not only that, but Blue is also the creator of the Neo heroes, and apparently he created them to show the world what true heroes really are, going back to what we were talking about with the corruption in the Hero Association. So also Blue is 16 years old, but most importantly, he's friggin' Blast's son. Yep, I mean, I'm sure you might have known that by now, but that's a pretty big deal. So I've also talked about like what could be going on with Blue, like what his abilities could be in a video that I made last week, how Blue shows what Blast abilities are. So check that out if you'd like more information on Blue. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Neo leaders. Let me know what you think about them in the comments, guys. Also, if you liked the video, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon that gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.